A legendary beginning and early success. Davis Love III's journey into golf greatness began before he could even walk. Born on April 13, 1964, in Charlotte, North Carolina, he was raised by a father who wasn't just any dad. He was a highly respected golf teacher. Davis Sr. didn't just teach golf mechanics. He instilled a mindset, a discipline, and a love for the game that became Davis's foundation. At the University of North Carolina, Davis blossomed into a prodigy. He wasn't just winning, he was dominating, securing 6 college titles and becoming a 3-time All-American. The pros were watching closely, and by 1985, Davis turned professional. Just a year later, he exploded onto the PGA Tour, capturing Rookie of the Year. What followed was nothing short of legendary. 21 PGA Tour wins, including the coveted 1997 PGA Championship and 2 Players' Championships. He held a spot in the top 10 of the world rankings for over 450 weeks, and even reached as high as number 2 in the world. He wasn't just a great player, he was a force of nature. By 2012, Davis Love III wasn't just known for his skills as a golfer. He was respected for his leadership. So when he was named captain of the U.S. Ryder Cup team, expectations were sky high. The Ryder Cup isn't just any tournament. It's the most intense, pride-fueled battle between the U.S. and Europe. That year, Davis took a relaxed approach, encouraging fun and camaraderie. He chose veterans like Jim Furyk and Steve Stricker, trusted names, but not the longest hitters. Critics questioned him immediately, arguing that modern golf needed youth and power. Despite the noise, Davis's team stormed ahead to a commanding 10-4 lead heading into Sunday. Just a few points were needed. Then disaster struck. Europe mounted one of the greatest comebacks in sports history, winning 8.5 of 12 points and stealing the cup. The miracle at Medina was born, and Davis was crucified by the media. His choices were ridiculed. His singles lineup was ripped apart. The loss wasn't just painful, it was public humiliation. Most people would have walked away. But not Davis. Instead of retreating into obscurity, he joined a Ryder Cup task force alongside legends like Tiger Woods and Phil Mickelson. Together, they dissected what went wrong and rebuilt the blueprint from the ground up. Against all odds, Davis was named captain again in 2016. Many scoffed. How could a man with such a notorious failure be trusted again? But Davis had changed. This time, he took control like a coach, not just a motivator. He built unity, handled politics, and appointed trusted assistants like Tiger and Stricker early on. He inspired belief. Most crucially, he learned from the past. When Sunday's singles arrived, he didn't hold back. He loaded the boat early, putting his strongest players first. The U.S. dominated, reclaiming the Ryder Cup and erasing the pain of 2012. Davis had gone from scapegoat to savior, proving that redemption is possible when you own your failures and grow from them. While Davis was leading teams and lifting trophies, his body was being torn apart by decades of elite competition. Behind the polished image was a man held together by sheer willpower. In 2013, he underwent spinal fusion surgery on his neck, a major operation that could have ended his career. He compared it to what Peyton Manning went through in the NFL. The physical pain was excruciating, but Davis never made excuses. Instead, he fought through it. In 2016, right before his Ryder Cup redemption, he had hip surgery to repair a torn labrum. Even walking was a challenge. But Davis pressed on, captaining the team while still healing. And then in 2017, a snowboarding accident shattered his collarbone in 3 places. 8 screws and a metal plate were needed to repair the damage. His rehab was long, painful, and draining. But again, Davis never quit. These weren't isolated injuries, they were a pattern. His thumbs, wrists, neck, hips, all had endured surgical procedures. Yet through it all, Davis never stopped believing he could compete. Most athletes retire gracefully by their early 40s. Davis Love III was just getting started again. At age 51, he pulled off one of the most remarkable wins in PGA Tour history by taking the Wyndham Championship. He wasn't just competing, he was beating golfers who were decades younger and healthier. This wasn't a fluke. It was the result of a relentless mindset. He had rebuilt his swing around his injuries, adjusted his training, and leaned into his decades of experience. That win wasn't just about a trophy, it was a message. Despite spinal fusion, hip surgery, and a body riddled with pain, Davis could still rise to the top. He became one of the oldest winners ever on tour, joining the ranks of golf's ageless legends. That moment at Wyndham was a celebration, not of youth or raw power, but of grit, patience, and resilience. It was proof that greatness doesn't expire with age. Just when you think Davis Love III had faced it all, 2025 brought his most serious health battle yet: open heart surgery. At age 60, doctors determined it was time to repair a leaky heart valve they had been monitoring for over a decade. The surgery was delicate, dangerous, and life-altering. It wasn't about golf anymore, it was about survival. Performed at the Mayo Clinic in Florida, the procedure was a success, but recovery was intense and unforgiving. 12 weeks of careful rehab lay ahead. For most people, this would be the moment to hang it up, to enjoy retirement and reflect on a decorated career. But not Davis. While others saw a final chapter, Davis saw a second wind. Even after heart surgery, he announced his goal of returning to competitive golf. He wasn't done yet, not even close. With his heart patched up and his body still aching, Davis Love III set his sights on a new mountain to climb, breaking the record for most PGA Tour starts in history. The number to beat? 803, set by Mark Brooks. Davis is sitting at 794. Just 9 events stand between him and golf immortality, again. But for Davis, this isn't just about bragging rights. It's about legacy. It's about showing future generations what true perseverance looks like. He's not chasing the spotlight. He's chasing fulfillment, the joy of pushing limits, of chasing something meaningful even when your body begs you to quit. For Davis, the number isn't the prize, it's the fight to get there that matters most. To some outside observers, Davis Love III's ongoing quest might look sad. They see an aging athlete clinging to relevance, refusing to accept that time has passed. They think he should be on a rocking chair, sharing stories, not chasing PGA Tour starts. But they couldn't be more wrong. What they miss is the mindset that separates champions from spectators. Davis doesn't play for fame or attention. He plays because it's who he is. Golf isn't just a sport to him, it's his identity, his therapy, his purpose. And even if his swing isn't as fast, or his drives aren't as long, his heart is still all in. The public might misunderstand him, but real fans, and especially real athletes, know exactly what he's doing. He's writing his own ending, and he's doing it on his terms. Across every chapter of Davis Love III's life, one word defines his journey: perseverance. Whether it was overcoming personal tragedy, public humiliation, or brutal injury, he never gave up. Off the course, he's also made his mark, writing award-winning books, designing golf courses with his brother, and mentoring the next generation. He's not just a competitor, he's a builder, a creator, a leader. And through it all, his purpose has remained crystal clear: to give everything he has to the game he loves. His scars tell a story, not of weakness, but of battles fought and survived. Davis Love III doesn't just exist in the world of golf. He elevates it. In the end, Davis Love III isn't a tragic figure. He's a hero in the purest form. One who gets knocked down again and always gets back up. Spinal fusion, hip surgery, broken bones, open heart surgery. Most people would stop at one of those. Davis has endured them all and still shows up with a fire in his soul. His story isn't about fading away. It's about charging forward, even when the lights dim and the crowd thins out. He's not sad, he's inspiring. He teaches us that failure is not final, that pain is not permanent, and that legacy is something you fight for, not something you wait for. Davis Love III is over 60, but he's more alive, more determined, and more powerful than most people half his age. And that's not sad, that's greatness.